Alright, Sony PlayStation has finally given us their conference, and again, yeah, they're the kings. They know how to deliver a conference. It was just non-stop action. Granted, not as many, big reveals as it was last year, but it's because, those games are still yet to come out, so of course they're going to be, doing some retreads, but at the same time they did announce some new things, and they showed a lot of new gameplay from the games that we saw last year. So regardless, let's get started, because this was an awesome showcase, and let's start it off with, of course, the live music, show that was straight out of the soundtrack from Uncharted: The Lost Legacy. And God, what I love about the trailer of this game, or just, from the game, is the fact that it was so seamless, because we saw gameplay of the actual game in there. Granted, it's, Uncharted 4 engine, so of course we know what the gameplay's gonna look like. But with the actual, the way how it seamlessly, transferred from gameplay to cutscenes, it just looked amazing, and I cannot wait to get it this August. Next up, Horizon Zero Dawn expansion. It's called The Frozen Wilds. I have yet to pick up Horizon Zero Dawn, but I will very soon, and this looks incredible. Next up, okay. Now I gotta be completely honest with you guys. Days Gone has not really been on my radar this whole time. I mean, obviously I've seen, the trailers and stuff, but I've never really cared. It never, awed me, never really got its hooks in me. Until now, because that trailer finally showed the actual open worldness of this game, and my God, it sold me. I'm 100% in. Before, I really didn't care, and I really didn't understand the buzz, but now I can see it, and my God, I cannot wait. I mean, those hordes and the zombie bear kind of clinched it for me. It just looked amazing. Next up, here's one that I am... Surprisingly, I haven't really played that many games. I've only played one for the PSP on my Vita, and yeah, Monster Hunter World. The graphics look amazing. It's the same art style, the same kind of, aesthetic as the past games, but with the new graphics, it just looks even better, and the world just looks so awesome to traverse, because Monster Hunter has always been like a game that I've always wanted to get into, because it is a hard game to get into. I mean, seriously, there's a learning curve to it, and you cannot be a casual with this game. Monster Hunter is a game for the hardcore crowd, and my God, this looks like a great addition to that series. Next up. Now, here is a game that's obviously, oh God, it's another remaster. Who the hell cares? I mean, Jesus, they need to stop with the remasters. Shadow of the Colossus remaster. Okay, I'll buy it. Even though I already own the PS3 remaster, I don't care. That's how much I love this game. And it looks like they're actually remastering it, in the sense it's not just going to be, an HD overhaul. They are actually changing the graphics to look much more now, like next gen, or this generation. It looks freaking amazing. And again, it's remastered. But I love Shadow of the Colossus so much that I don't really care. Seriously. Yeah, I don't care. Next up, Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. Now, here is something that I've always loved the Marvel vs. Capcom series. Don't get me wrong. I love Part 2, and 3 was pretty good. Ultimate is obviously the better version, but 4 hasn't really had me, or hasn't really got me, interested, like 100% invested. But seeing as how there's now a trailer, I gotta give this baby a shot now, because hell yeah. So the demo's out tonight, which is even better, and it's gonna be out. And the game's coming out in September, so I'm stocked. I'm stocked, ready, stocked, loaded, and just ready to freaking go, because this game looks awesome. Next up, let's move it on forward. Now, Call of Duty World War II. I'm done with Call of Duty. I mean, granted, yes, it looks great, and I'm happy that they're finally, moving forward with the franchise, but I don't really care. It's over. Just skip on ahead. Now let's talk about the PSVR games, and here is where things get really interesting. First thing out of the gate, Skyrim. Skyrim in PSVR. I'm sold. That's it. I don't care. I already own all the peripherals. This is going to be incredible. I just hope that I don't have to buy the game again, or at least gives me the option to, upgrade with the deals. I mean, they're obviously going to probably charge us. I hope it's a free update. If it's a free update, that's even better, because I already own the goddamn game. I'm looking at it right now, and I would love for it to be free. But even if it does cost a little more money, again, let it be an update, or just a DLC patch. Don't let it be a whole new game. If I have to rebuy the damn game, that's going to suck. I'm going to do it anyways, but it's going to suck. But regardless, Skyrim PSVR, yes. Fallout PS4 VR, again, that sounds great, but the fact that Sony got their hands on Skyrim, which kind of has me believing that both are going to be coming out for PSVR, because damn, it's pretty much interchangeable. Regardless, sounds awesome. Let's keep moving forward. Star Child, it's a platformer in VR. Never really been a huge fan of platformers in VR, obviously, but it had a good aesthetic. You know, it was kind of in my eyes, but it looks cool. Next up, The Inpatient, a horror psychological thriller. Didn't really give us that much, but it looks interesting. It looks like something mixed. It looks like a little bit of Evil Within, kind of mixed in with the VR game, and it's like a very like psychiatric, like kind of help kind of game, like you're lost in an asylum or some shit. It looks interesting. I want to see more, like the same, like was it Transference? I want to see more with those two games. Next up, Final Fantasy 15, which it hasn't even actually introduced its first PSVR modes, now has given us a new mode, and this time it's fishing. And personally, that sounds boring, but seeing as how it's grown up on Sega Bass Fishing on the Dreamcast, I am excited. And it's called Monster of the Deep, and it's coming out September. So we finally have a damn release date. I'm pretty sure the PSVR is going to the first mod's going to come out with episode Prompto. But the fact of the matter is, this looks even cooler. Just again, I'm a huge fan of Sega Bass Fishing, so this is going to be great in VR. Next up, Bravo Team. Now this game looks like a tactical shooter, but from the gameplay alone, I know for a fact this thing uses the aim controller. I mean, just look at the gameplay. It looks just like Farpoint gameplay. That is definitely using the aim controller, and I'm already ready. I had the damn thing, so I'm just freaking ready. And I will calm down a little bit because now... Oh no, wait, sorry. There's one more PSVR game, Moss. A very interesting looking adventure game. It follows a little mouse, and you're pretty much just trying to stay alive. Again, don't really care about platformers that much, but the aesthetic had me enough. The aesthetic itself was enough to interest me, so whatever. And that is it. More PSVR games. I need to catch my breath because I am losing my goddamn mind. Now back to regular games. God of War trailer. Again, God of War looks amazing. The trailer did nothing to really hype me up even more. I'm already hyped. But we now have a release window, early 2018. So, yes. Next up, Detroit Become Human. Now this is, I think, a game from the same people who made Heavy Rain. And it's a choose-your-own-adventure type of game. It looks interesting, it looks cool, but never really been interested in those kind of, I mean, I've always been a fan of choose-your-own-adventure, but with video games, I kind of want something more, like actual more control, so whatever. I'm not saying anything bad about it. If you like that kind of game, this looks great, but not really my cup of tea. Next up, Destiny 2. Destiny 1 was kind of a big letdown. Granted, that was the vanilla version. The newer versions are actually a lot better, and Destiny 2 seems to be on the right track to be a great game. Again, I will reserve judgment. I might not buy it day one because, I have other damn games in my horizon to get beforehand. But it looks like a great game. Okay. Now, this whole showcase was rather short. It was only an hour long, but again, it's because of how they did it. They were just doing game after game after game. They did the same thing with, I guess, what Bethesda did, is they only showed it, like, the actual stage, like, twice. And they were just stuck with the game trailers. They were just showing the game trailers nonstop. And, of course, they end it all with one game that, granted, on, like the stepladder, I guess, Last of Us 2, and then, Death Stranded would be, the top two ones. The third one, which personally for me is one of the... all those games are all tied in my mind, but the fact that we got gameplay of SpiderMan is just awesome. And the fact of the matter is we have a release year, finally, 2018, but the gameplay itself was just incredible. The combat was fantastic. Everything seemed smooth. Movement, web slinging, everything was freaking incredible. Seriously, after this is done, if you haven't seen it, go watch it. It was freaking awesome. And that is pretty much it. I mean, god damn it, Sony, you... Not only was I looking forward for PlayStation VR games, I was, like, god damn it, the well's drying up, guys. I need more VR games to look forward to. I mean, there are a couple, obviously, coming out this year that I'm, interested in buying, but I was a little worried. Again, that's what E3 is for, to, revitalize my, love for this. And they freaking did. PS4 games or PSVR games. This is an incredible show, and not as many games as, like, okay, so yeah, Xbox had way more games in their showcase, but Sony had far more games, exclusives, that are going to be 100% PlayStation exclusive in their showcase. So pretty much combining all of Ubisoft and all of EA and all of the other games, pretty much all those games will eventually come to PlayStation. As I found out, a lot of the time exclusive, or a lot of the exclusives for the Xbox are actually timed exclusives, so that kind of sucks for them. But as a PlayStation owner, holy crap, this was just incredible. I'm so jazzed. They got it down to an hour. Everything was beautiful, quick, enough time for everything. There was not a dry eye in the goddamn stadium. Not in the sense that everyone's crying, but the fact of the matter is that everyone was crying in joy, because my god, this was just awesome. And yeah, they didn't give us enough time to breathe. I like that. The way I'm talking right now, it was just incredible. So yeah, after seeing all that, yeah, I'll have to go back on my whole Bethesda thing, but the Bethesda conference was, I'll give it a 7.5. EA still a 5. You know what? EA is now a 4. Microsoft, I gave it an 8. Now that's down to a... No, I'll keep it an 8. I actually like the Microsoft conference. I don't know why people are hating on it. I think it's just fanboys. Ubisoft. Yeah, they did a great job. They're getting an 8. They did a fantastic job. But with this, whereas I will happily say that it wasn't perfect. Again, they could have showed more, but that's just me being, you know, a greedy asshole, you know, being selfish. I'm giving it a 9.5 because, again, pacing was perfect. The amount of games was perfect. The amount of showcase, like everything that they showcased was fantastic. Granted, they didn't, you know, say anything like, you know, new things for the console themselves. Like, it really didn't matter. I mean, their consoles are doing just fine. They don't have to announce, you know, a price drop. Xbox does. PlayStation does not have to. And for anyone who hasn't picked up a PlayStation, I mean, that kind of sucks for you guys, but seriously, it's worth the money. Yeah, that was the best conference. Hands down. That was just borderline fan-freaking-tastic. And I'm gonna have to go get ready now because I'm leaving to Santa Cruz right now. But regardless, I don't even know why I'm saying this. I'm just trying to rush, but I want to give out all my thoughts because I don't want to leave anything. I don't want to leave a stone unturned because that was just fantastic. That was a fantastic show. I'm going to keep regurgitating that, but it was just awesome. And if you're a PSVR, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 4 Pro, you're freaking set for this year and next year for quality titles. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't know what else to say. I don't know if I'm going to do Nintendo tomorrow. That's the thing. It isn't really an E3 thing. It's more of a Nintendo Direct thing. They usually don't do that much. They probably just will talk about Mario Rabbids again. Maybe I'll do it. But for now, I'm safe. I think I'll call it. I'm safe to call it this is the last E3 video that I'll be making. The conferences. I am still doing my top 10 games, or top 10 most anticipated games of E3 very soon. And hopefully be doing those with my buddies up north. But regardless, that's the video. Thank you for watching this whole thing. I mean, seriously, thank you guys for your support. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for even listening to my bullshit. And granted, even if you called me an asshole or you disagree with me, I still appreciate you guys. But thank you. And I will see you guys later.